Hi, I'm Geoff Lawton. I'm a permaculture teacher, designer and consultant. I'm the Managing Director of Zaytuna Farm, which hosts the Permaculture Research Institute here in northern New South Wales, Australia. And here we address the problems of the world, the sustainability issues, the food security, water cycles. We demonstrate permaculture as an ethical design science and show people how they can live in a way that benefits the environment with renewable energy, natural biological waste systems, sensible housing, and of course, clean air, clean water, clean food, and all the systems we need to provide for ourselves in a way that will also benefit the environment instead of all the issues we have, all the issues of modern industrial life. We provide solutions and demonstrate how you can understand the design, implementation and establishment of those solutions on the ground with real action. We're doomed if we don't change our behaviour. It looks like we're starting to. It looks like there's at last some concern, and people are starting to pay attention to people who actually have achieved something, and that we can prove. But if we don't change our behaviour, yeah, we're doomed. We're absolutely doomed. Life as we know it is going to change, and it's not going to be very nice. It's an incredibly serious situation now. We actually have major collapse happening. There's all kinds of crises, and they're just stacking up one after another. Obviously there's a climate crisis, and we're going into a flood drought regime. There are finite fuel crisis, there's financial crisis, there's food security crisis, there's a soil erosion crisis and a water crisis, and particularly polluted water and pollution itself. There are so many crises, and the answer to all of these is the way we actually behave and the way we supply our needs. What we have to do is we have to design our way out of this problem. All of these problems, we can design our way out of these problems, because it's about aligning our actions to the natural system so that we become the most beneficial element on Earth rather than the most damaging element. And that we can do, but we have to make that intention, and we have to have a design plan. Permaculture has the design plan we need. Most people aren't addressing this problem seriously that we have. The issues that we are faced with globally are extremely serious, and we have to come up with solutions very fast because there's all kinds of things happening. We're noticing climate change everywhere. We're noticing flood and drought regimes. It's a consequence of deforestation. It's a consequence of agriculture being bare soil agriculture, industrialized agriculture, running off water too quickly, running with its soils, creating a very big effect on the climate because there's more reflected heat, there's less absorption of energy with ecosystems. Ecosystems are the buffer of the massive amounts of energy coming into the world, into the earth from the sun. We know that we need to work with the natural systems to regulate and moderate that. That's what we can do, but we have to change our industrial approach. You can't have an industrial approach to nature. Nature just ridicules you if you take an industrial approach, and that's what's happening. When I started in permaculture, I was in my late 20s. I dreamt of being self-sufficient in my youth, but it didn't seem possible. But then when I arrived in Australia as an English immigrant, permaculture was a system that was just starting. It was just starting to be taught. And when I discovered it, a whole new light came on, and all those dreams of the past came back to life, and I realized this was a rational, common sense system that I could use as an approach to living in a more sustainable, natural, self-sufficient way. And that was a starting point for me. I was just a hard-working immigrant to Australia. I'd worked as a mechanical engineer, but I was working to do whatever I could to earn a living and permaculture was something that completely changed my view of the world and gave me something to aim for. Since then, I started to work more and more on permaculture consultancy and design and developing my own systems, and people came to me and asked me to help them set up and eventually to teach, and then I was asked to teach overseas, and then I was asked to teach on aid projects, and eventually I was asked to manage the Permaculture Institute itself. I just kept getting pretty good results and creating very active students, and that led to more and more invitations to do more of the same, and that's what I've continued to do, and I still continue to try and teach better, get a better result, design better, consult better, be a better teacher, and teach people to do the same. I really want my students to be better designers, consultants and teachers than I am. I studied under Bill Mollison, the founder of the system. Bill was born in Tasmania in quite a rural coastal village, and he saw the forest come down. He saw the sea starting to be depleted. He saw the resources being lost way back in the 1970s, and he started to get concerned. So he realizes that we needed to come up with a system that would give us the supplies we need, but also give us the solutions that are absolutely essential for permanent, sustainable activity, for humans to become the most beneficial element on Earth, rather than the most damaging system on Earth. Bill Mollison conceived the concept of permaculture as a design science and a subject that can be taught with clever little strategies of how it's extended worldwide, and how our students, once they've taken the course, can teach the course. And the word permaculture is owned by the students of the design certificate course, so it's more or less unstoppable. It's a wild system that can't be controlled because it's not centralized.